Hi guys, quite a quick one today. A lot of you may have seen over my last few videos this park bench that I've been slowly putting together. It's almost finished, but I had one or two comments or questions from a few people asking how I managed to do all the riveting, because you can't just stick it up on the anvil or on a rivet snap. It's all totally riveted, no welds on it. As you can see, there's a bar there, got to go on. Some of them are hot riveted, some are cold. All depends where they are, how easy they are to get to with a hammer. And this is how I do it. I make quite a few of these different lengths for whatever job I'm doing. Now drill into the end of the bar. This is 2x1, I think, something like that, or 1.5 by 3/4, not sure. 2x1, I think. Just drill in the end, about the size, roughly the size of the rivet head. Then stick it in the forge, get this end nice and hot. Drill another bit of bar and put a rivet in so that just the head's sticking up. Stick that over the top and whack hell out of it. And that just pushes the rivet into the drilled hole, makes a nice little sort of snap head. This is another one I use on the side. See, that's got a chamfer on there, and that is for this bar down here. I made this one. This cross brace here, I had a job to get to it or hold anything behind it, so that goes down the back there. The chamfer, actually I've got it the wrong way around, that's it, that's better. The chamfer goes against the other cross brace, and then put a couple of big clamps on there, real heavy ones, and then whack hell out of the front of it. This one was done hot because it's much easier and I haven't got much room to swing a hammer. Now this one, the tenon on the arm, you can see it's riveted at the back there. Again, this one's done hot. Now that's done with this over here. There we are. Old leg vise. I had this kicking about for years. It just sits in the corner there, gathering dust, and every so often I use it. Just put the jaws, clamp them tightly over the very top of the arm, right up here, and then again either just hang on to it, hold it up in the air because it's bloody heavy, or rest it on the ground or rest it against something and then belt hell out the tenon at the back. Again, as I say, I did it hot. This is the bar that's left to go on. I've had it engraved. As you can see, the poor girl wasn't very old. That's her name. She was very young, I think 13 months old, something like that. And this is a memorial bench going in a churchyard for her. So what we're going to do, first of all, I've cut my rivets down. I've bought a bag of standard size rivets. I get them the longer size, cut them down to the size I want. If I can get the rivets the right size I will, but this lot I couldn't. And then you always want one or two slightly longer. Right, so you put your rivets in, you bring it forwards, and what happens? Your rivets fall out. So I'm going to use this clamp. Actually, a lot of people have asked about this as well. It's a Bessie clamp, quite expensive, but really easy to use one-handed. That should slide down, but this is a brand new one and it's a bit stiff. But really, really good. I've got 4 or 5 of these and they're really good to use one-handed. And now I've got it jammed. That doesn't normally happen. So once they've been used a bit, that's it, got it. They're quite free and really easy to use one-handed. Hold a job and just slide it down. So now what you've got to do, take the rivet out and put it in backwards. You don't rely on the clamp. I'll tell you why, because when you're riveting this end, this bar can actually move slightly. The rivet can bend a little bit and then you'll never get your rivet back in the other end. It only needs to move a gnats and you've had it. You'll never get it in, you end up drilling it out again. So the easy way is just to stick the rivet in the other end, hold it in place. I'm a bit short of room in here, as you can see. I'm going to lay it over. And also, normally I would have done these before I put the arm on, but because I had to do the engraving, I didn't. So I'm just going to stick, if I can get in there, a bit of that channel or RSJ underneath, just because this arm is holding it off the ground. I'll just stick that under there. That's better. It's got it. Normally, as I say, the weight of the seat would hold itself in place. You can see there now what I mean about the arm. The arm is holding it off the ground, whereas normally, as I say, I rivet it before the arm goes on. You don't have the problem. So you simply beat hell out of it. And what's happening is that the ground is doing the job for you. The concrete. It's just holding it nice and tight. Put your foot against it so it doesn't slip out. Just using the ball peen to push the rivet right into the countersink that I put in the back of the bar, so it can come down nice and flush. Finish it off with a flat blow or two, and that's all you do. This one's fairly easy. Let's see if I can zoom in and show you. Here we go. They've all gone down, all three of those rails, nice and flat. They're still sticking up a little bit. I want them to show, because I want it to look like it's been hand riveted. If they were flush, completely flush, sanded off, you might just as well have blind welded them. But I like to just to see the rivet there, so you can tell it's all been done by hand. So we'll go up and do the other end. So now I can take the clamp off, and that rivet has now gone as tight as anything. That's exactly what I was expecting might happen. If that rivet hadn't been in there, that bar would have moved a bit further and you'd never get the rivet back in again without having to re-drill, and then you got slop and all sorts of nonsense. So that little tip just saves all that mucking about afterwards. Find the bar, stick that under that one. If I can find it, that's it. Just lean on it and give it 7 bells. You can see how soft these rivets are. That's going down really easily, and that's just completely cold. Just going to push it out into the countersink with the ball peen. I probably could have cut this rivet a little bit longer. In fact, all of them could have been just a tad longer. Either that or the countersink that I put in the bar slightly less. But that'll do the job. Certainly won't come off. There you go. There's a few hammer marks, but again, it's all handmade. That's part of the beauty of a handmade job. And by the time it's all been shot blasted and powder coated, that'll look nice. Now these ones can be slightly more difficult. You have to plan your job, because this one, you see, is in the way of the bar above it, so you can't really get a snap on it. So you've got to plan your job, think about which rivets to put in first. So you wouldn't put this one in first, you do it before this one here, so that you can actually pull this bar up. Although it's all attached, there's enough spring in it that you can pull it out of the way. It's all sort of trial and error. This cross brace here was done, I think that one was done with the vice attached to it and done hot. Can't really see it there very well, but that one there, that was held and done hot with the vice. yeah, as I say, you have to plan your job. A lot of it's trial and error. You do it once, you make a mistake, you think that's not right because I can't do the next one, so you alter it on the next job. These ones were done cold. It's a mixture of hot and cold depending on how you can get to the job. As I say, it's planning and experience. You sort of sometimes just look at a job and think, yeah, I've got to do it in this sequence because of this, that and the other. Other times you go flying in, start doing it and then come across a problem because you've done something before something else. Anyway, it's all done now, so it's all ready to go to the shop blasters. Hopefully that will show up nicely when it's been powder coated. And it will give many years of pleasure to lots of people who visit the churchyard. So that's how I do some of my riveting. Thanks for watching, we'll catch you on the next one.